Yeah, Shopper, that. That's another place that we got kind of stymied because their basic business was the toy business. And they did very well at it. And they had, because after those Cootie and all that, they got into little battery-operated vehicles, all kinds of trucks and cars, and that just went up into the. I think the biggest year they had was over $100 million.
Oh wow!
But maybe it wasn't quite. But like in the toy business, after something reaches its peak, and something else comes along,
Yes.
it falls off just as fast as it,
Yes.
as
True.
it grew, or even
True.
faster. And that's when they were sold to Tyco.
Yeah. No, I think Sharper first actually, they are the first to start to use plastic toys to build things out of plastic.
Yeah, they were pioneers in that
Yeah.
pretty much. Because the Cootie game
Yes.
was one of the first.
And I have one in our camper.
Oh,
Yes.
and the other games they had Don't Spill the Beans, Don't Break the Ice.
Yes. Yes.
I can't remember what the others were. Oh, goodness. I've never seen their annual reports before. Maybe I could have got a raise. No, this is before my time with Shopper. But this was a guy, Herb Shopper, he was a mailman, and he, was looking for something to make more money and all that. And the first Cootie game was carved out of wood.
Yeah.
And then it went to plastic.
Okay. Wow. So was the first hockey sticks carved out of wood too? No.
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 We went right to the.
What was the idea behind making them out of plastics?
Well, we were in plastic,
Okay.
and we were looking to expand the line.
Yes.
We had the balls all made. We had the scoop game. We had, I think we had scooter boards at that time, and it's what do we do with these things
Yes.
now? And we had the ball, so we thought, well, let's make a. Of course, we had the encouragement from somebody on the outside to make a hockey stick.
So.
And then we made a bat to go with the ball.
Okay. So the ball you refer to is the fun ball, correct?
Yes.
And the fun ball is what I then mistakenly call a wiffle ball, because it is not a wiffle ball, correct?
No,
It's a fun ball. And Sharper or Carlson actually invented the ball to them, because it's not really a wiffle ball.
Yeah, my cousin invented that in a golf ball size,
Okay.
because he wanted to be able to practice in the backyard.
Okay.
And of course, he couldn't use a regular golf ball; it would go
Yes.
over in the next block.
Yes.
But so he developed that ball. Along with that, they had to actually develop the process of heat sealing,
Okay.
because it's made of polyethylene, and polyethylene can't be glued.
Okay.
There's no solvents that attack it, or glues or anything.
Okay.
So they had to figure out that it was heat.
Okay.
They had to melt the two edges and
Yes.
put it together. So then they had to invent the machine
Okay.
to make the ball. So it was a lengthy
Wow.
process.
And that all took place in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was Clinton Carlson, my cousin, that
Okay.
started it.
Okay.
And then I was working at a bank, and
Here's Tom Harder.
yeah, sure is.
Oh, I gotta take a picture of that.
I should have brought a picture of Clint Carlson and started the whole thing. Oh, I remember that. Oh, little.
So, do you think I will be able to get hold of Tom Harder?
Well, I don't know. I think he might be a little older than I am,
Okay.
so I don't even know if he's alive. But I've got I'll have to look at home.
We'll see if I can take his picture. I don't know.
Probably the best way would be to call he was the recreation director for Battle Creek, Michigan.
Yes.
So probably the best way would be to get a hold of
The Parks and Rec?
Parks and Rec department there.
Yeah.
And they would certainly know.
Some documents that I found suggest that the first ever game was played in Battle Creek with Tom Harder, 1962. That would mean that we have a 50-year anniversary this year. But I don't know.
I don't know either. Because we played some floor hockey before it got to Battle Creek.
Yeah.
But we had played some floor hockey before that, but he's the one that refined it.
Okay. Okay.
Is that your phone, Michael?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Goodness, looks good.
There, that's Al Peter's signature there. Al Peter. He's a great guy.
Excuse me, if you wouldn't mind turning off your phones, you're welcome to take calls and receive them out in the hall here, but kind of keep a little bit quiet for the other patrons.
Good idea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Another flop.
Moon shoes, what could that were?
What was it? I don't even remember what we did. Oh, throwing a
Disc.
frisbee type disc.
Frisbee type disc, yes.
Yeah, into a ring.
Okay. It's very much like, what do you call that? Golf? Frisbee golf?
Yeah. I remember that. That was our first catalog sheet.
Did you use goalies?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my youngest son.
Oh.
We were in the marine business too.
Doing boats? Yes.
Well, we were doing, we tried this thing and that flop, but we made accessories,
Okay.
boarding ladders and deck chairs and boat hooks and paddles and
Okay.
stuff like that. Oh, and that was a big item, was it? For this? We got into a lot of things.
Yes, that's good.
But this again was using our heat sealing process.
Okay.
This had to be made in 2 halves. The first sample was in metal, but that was, well, it didn't float and right and all that. Yeah.
Is this box number 2 then, or?
Yeah. That one is pretty much just cootie.
Okay. Yeah, cootie was a big thing.
Yeah, there was another bowling type game. This was a big item, was bowling.
Yeah, my son loves that. He loves bowling in the basement.
Mini Blaga.
Yes. So the ball here, the fun ball, was that also part of the logo then?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I need to take a picture of that.
Yeah, that was kind of a nice logo. We worked that pretty hard. And the plastic bat, that was a good seller for us. And this was made with the heat sealing process. It was the bottom to the top. This was before blow molding.
Okay.
And then once blow molding was invented, then you could blow mold the whole pins.
Okay.
And the ball was rubber. So that was really expensive.
So how many people work for Sharper or Carlson at
Oh.
its peak?
Well, Shopper, I don't know what to tell you. Shopper had, because of their big toy business, they probably had over 100. But
Wow.
Carlson, well, we probably had 35, 40 people.
Okay. Wow.
Actually, to begin with, it was
Yeah.
probably was me and
It's her telephone.
it was me and my cousin and about
That's what it was
4 or
the whole
5
time?
other people.
Yeah.
That's why she told us to turn our phones on.
My gosh, how did they get all of this? No commission schedule. Oh, yeah. That was a good product to hold for women, that was in the days of women were not office.
Yeah.
Well, it would work
Uh-huh.
with, it would work with pantyhose, I suppose, but it would have a chain and you'd, like, you know, if you're traveling and they want to wash like stockings, and it could hang it up on the shower rod.
Mm-hmm.
And it was made of polyethylene, so it was soft. It wouldn't snag the stockings.
Okay.
We sold it. We didn't sell a lot retail, but we sold it as a premium item. Company over in Michigan sold hundreds of thousands, or gave them
Wow.
away, I guess.
Uh-huh.
And there's fence brackets. I've got a fence in front of my house
Wow.
made with these. That was they were aluminum brackets. The idea was you didn't have to mortise out the slot in the post.
Okay.
Just nail those on and just slide the boards in. And then when you wanted to, well, it did have holes in it, you could make it permanent, but otherwise you could slide the rails out and paint them,
Okay.
or whatever.
I remember copies like this from school, and they were all smelly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Well, we were in my cousin got, the printing. These were presses to print on plastic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you sold machines then to print
Well-
on plastic?
Yeah, I don't remember that we did very well with them either.
Okay.
But my cousin was, his mind was going a million miles a minute.
It
got us
sounds
into-
like you were extremely busy, huh?
Oh, we were busy. We got into so many things.
Many long hours, I guess?
Oh, yeah, a lot of that too. And then he sold out and moved to Arizona and left it all for the rest of us.
Okay.
Well, a lot of this stuff we got out of pretty quick too. I think Carl sold some of these over in Sweden also.
Okay. The bowling games?
Yeah, bowling game.
Okay. Stilts.
Yeah.
Still the fun ball. I like that. I will change that name from now on. I won't call it the wiffle ball. I will call it the fun ball.
Fun.
Yes.
But nobody will know what you're talking about.
No, I don't care. I have to rewrite history.
Yeah. Oh, then we made an adjustable golf tee. And just little flange that you could slide up and down and then
Okay.
turn it to half turn. Another one that wasn't very successful. This was amazing. Clint introduced that in 1948. And I went to work for him in 1950, and we sold millions.
And this is the first then,
It was the first polyethylene ball ever
and it was for golf,
for golf.
and it has actually the same design. So you at this time you had to have those machines to be able to
Yeah,
thermal seal them.
right.
Yes.
And they had, well, at the time this first came out, there was only one machine
Okay.
in the world.
Okay.
And then, he also had to develop a machine to punch the holes in it,
Okay.
because at that time he didn't.
So he made them without holes and then
Yeah.
punched the holes.
Yeah, made solid halves,
Okay.
or made shells,
Yes.
and then punched the holes, and then sealed them together.
Okay. Okay.
Analysis of sales, $385,000. Wow, I bet we thought we were something. Oh, Bronson, that was our advertising agency.
Well, you need to tell us when you can download one, because
Mr. Booker was the president of Carlson when Thermotech bought him. And then I took over his job when he retired.
okay, then you can download one and print everything, but we do ask how you're going to do it.
The scoop was a big game for us too. That was, we had the softball, but, you know, we were selling a few of them, but we had to figure out something to do with the softball instead of just, you know, sit there and bounce it up and
Yes.
down.
Yes.
So we developed the scoop game, which was
Okay.
a takeoff of the game Highlight that was played down played in Mexico and South America.
Yes.
Well, and then, because this softball fit in there, and you play it from one side of the yard to the other, back and forth.
Yes. As floorball is recognized by the International Olympic Committee, there's a lot of other sports that are recognized too that will probably never ever make it to an Olympic game.
Oh, yeah.
And one of them is, it's called the Basquian pelota. And pelota, that's more or less that, where you have a scoop and
Oh,
you
yeah.
throw something
Yeah.
extremely fast.
Yeah. That's part, isn't that the same
I would think so.
what did I say, the game?
Highlight?
Highlight.
Yes.
Isn't Pelota the same?
Yeah, I would think so. I'm not an expert in that area, so I don't have a clue.
I think maybe Pelota, that might be South American. And Highlight is Mexican. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
Or
either.
Pelota, maybe that's played over in Spain. I don't know. Anyway,
No, no.
they're the same thing.
Yes, yes. You said you found something that related to disabled players somewhere here.
Somewhere, yeah. It's on one of the advertisements. It shows, it might be in that box towards the front. I don't think it was in here. It shows a,
Didn't we show,
I think it says even the handicapped boy can play goalie.
Okay.
oh, yeah, yeah. But I know one of these rule books, oh, it's out there, shows a black kid in a wheelchair, or a couple of them, I guess, and they were playing floor hockey. And
Okay.
in their wheelchairs, because they could wheel themselves around.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember the one you're talking about.
Is it coming out of the net to stop a ball?
Yeah,
And it says, yeah.
Okay.
I think this first one doesn't have a whole lot in it as far as brochures go. So it's
probably
not
in
there.
here somewhere.
I don't know, we didn't get too far into this box last time
Okay.
because we got stuck on
Yes,
one,
yes.
so I'm guessing it's in there.
Remember that. Well, I don't know if it was in here or not. You got my name on there.
Yes. Is that your handwriting too then?
No, that's not my handwriting.
Oh.
Just somebody was sending it to me or giving it to me.
Hmm.
How did it end up in here?
Memories.
Let's see this whole stack here.
on top?
Yeah. In the center.
Yes, showing as cool.
I think the most interesting thing about that is that from the beginning, it's been a sport that's fully inclusive.
Yeah,
Everyone's welcome to come play. And I suppose at a
Yeah.
school, you want to make sure you can.
so why couldn't we get it going like, like Carl has in Sweden and,
That's what we're going to change. That's what we're working on.
okay.
That's why we're here.
Yes, that's why we're here. We have to build American legacy.
Hurry up, I haven't got too many years.
No, neither have I. I think it will take 30 years. I'm sorry, but I think it's.
Well, I think you're right.
I hope I can.
Although actually floor hockey is, in the education field, I think is pretty much universal now.
Yes.
Uh,
But I wanted to shift to floorball because I think that's where you have the international momentum. That's
Oh,
where you
yeah.
have the recognition. So I talked to one guy up in Canada, and he says he has problems even if he invites floor hockey players, or they call it ball hockey players. They also call it Carlson hockey up in Canada
Yeah.
still. But they have their certain rules, and they still play with hockey sticks. Rules are more violent than floorball rules.
So,
And he lets them try the game, and still he has a hard time to convince them to go over to floorball. But it will probably take some time, no doubt about that.
I think, at the time we were promoting it, it wasn't done in Europe at that time. And that came along later. But possibly using the kind of the theme that this is a European, tell the story what's happened in Europe, that
Yeah.
would, because, Americans are intrigued with
Yes,
European products
yes,
and
yes.
activities.
Yes, but it's the same. Europeans are intrigued with American stories too.
Yeah.
So
So
I
that-
think
that-
to me, it's like one of the most basics in life. It's curiosity, and it's always the neighbor's grass is much greener than my
Oh,
own.
yeah, yeah.
So what you don't have, you want to have, and that's what drives advertising and drives sales too. What you
Yeah.
don't have, you want to have. So.
Well, a lot of advertising on foreign things has played in,
Yes.
and of course, soccer, I think they've used that to develop soccer in this country. 'Cause,
Yes.
20, 25 years ago, you wouldn't see soccer
No,
around
that,
here.
it happened a lot. I don't know how secure this source is, but Juha Mikkola, that one of the main floorball guys up in Canada, he claims that soccer today is North America's largest sport, if you count in all the kids, and you add up what they
yeah.
have in Canada down
I
here.
think it would, because it's, well, age-wise, they can
Yes.
start very young,
Yes,
and then it's both boys and girls,
yes,
and, that spreads it out a
Yes.
lot. So
And then-
I would think that's.
and it is basic. You only need a pair of sneakers and
Oh, yeah.
a ball, and then you can be outside. But then I think it has the backdraws too, that I'm coaching soccer. I have kids, the two sons, they're playing soccer. But when it gets cold in Wisconsin,
Oh, yeah.
it's windy and cold, it blows straight through me. It's kind of rough.
Of course, they bring it inside, but it's not near the game.
No.
Oh.
May I just browse
Yeah.
through real
Yeah.
quick?
Go ahead. Our Canadian distributor, in your research, have you ever run across the name Fred Martin Agencies?
No.
Okay, well, they were our Canadian distributor
Okay.
out of Winnipeg,
Hmm.
and the only one active now is Rolf Martin. But they're the ones that really carried the ball up. We sold some accounts up in Canada, but they really got it going up there. They play it, well, coast to coast.
Yeah,
It's big out in Vancouver,
yeah.
some of the prairie cities are playing it.
Yeah. The ball development is also very interesting because you saw the dimples on the ball I showed you.
Oh, yeah.
So it makes it fly a bit faster. The latest that they play with otherwise is one that it has like channels all over it.
Almost like latitude and longitude.
Yes,
On
yes.
a
Oh, really?
globe.
Yes. And then they have another design where they have on the inside of the ball, they have two seams. First, a seam when you connect them, but they have another seam that goes the other way to make it more stable.
Oh,
So it's an artificial
to balance
seam.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then I also seen designs where you have the dimples. They are not structured as the one ball I showed you.
Oh,
Instead, they are like randomized.
oh,
Some of the most advanced golf balls has that pattern too and make a
Really?
golf ball fly faster. But then also you have the discussion, do we want to have balls flying that fast?
That's right.
Because if they fly too fast, they might, hurt us.
yeah, and they can't play with them.
Yes. But there's also some kind of a world record. It's a Finnish player. They have recorded him shoot a fun ball at 100 and I think it's 27 miles per hour.
Really?
Yes. And the fastest hockey shot is around 108 miles per hour. So it's like 20% faster. So
How can that be?
it's because the blades, they let air through, so you can swing it
Oh,
faster.
yeah.
And then the weight, it's 23 grams.
Oh,
The
yeah.
puck is rather heavy compared to 23
Yeah.
grams. So I think that all affects the speed. Of course, the fun ball will stop very fast.
Yeah.
You have air resistance, so it won't fly that fast as very long.
Which was that was the purpose
Yes,
when it was developed.
yes,
The other thing, a lot of the balls that are made today, or that are come out of China and what have you, they got the holes in them, but they're very hard.
yes,
We always used I guess you'd call it a medium density
yes,
material, so that there was a little flex to it.
yes,
And that was partially for safety.
yes, yes. No, I think that's right.
Yeah.
For baseball, they have those hards. I've seen that. I think they sell them at Target, for instance.
Oh, I'm sure they do. Yeah.
So were there a patent for the ball?
No, just the sealing process.
Okay. But the sealing process was patented
Yes.
by someone.
But then that ran out, and
Uh-huh.
like I say,
14 years or something like that?
usually a patent 17, but
Okay.
well, I don't know what it was on that.
But that the
It could have been
inventor of
less.
that, the fun ball would be Clinton.
Clinton Carlson.
Carlson, yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But he didn't want to spend the money to extend it, and so
No,
it
no.
ran out.
Is he alive down in Arizona?
No,
I
no, he died 20 years ago now.
Okay.
He was a cousin, but he was 15 years older than I am.
Okay.
And he moved down there. He did well. He retired at about, well, it was under 50.
Okay, that's good.
Went down to the land of the sun,
Yes.
lived happily ever after.
Yes. I think it's fine up here. I live myself down in Florida. I think it's too hot.
Oh, Florida,
Yeah, it's too hot to me.
So how did you end up moving to Minnesota then? Because I know there's some things from Michigan here from 61, 62, 63.
I've always lived here.
You always lived here. Okay.
I was born and raised here.
Maybe this is going to Michigan then. Maybe that's it. Okay. So you're from here.
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up right here. Well, not, this is St. Paul. It's like a different country.
Yeah,
you know.
big difference.
But we have a floorball group in St. Paul too, right?
They're very
Oh,
violent.
yeah.
Very violent.
Violent?
Very violent.
I think they're nice.
I don't. They're violent.
Violent.
That's because there's so many Irish over here.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not Irish.
No, all Irish, but we know.
All Irish.
What was it our governor said
Yeah.
one time on TV, that the streets were designed by drunken Irishmen?
Irishmen. Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
He took a little heat for that one.
That was the favorite part. That was his favorite part of the job, though, I think.
Oh,
Was to-
yeah.
Question, did you use pucks too?
Yes,
Okay.
but that, in fact, I had well, I'll show it to you when we get out to my bag.
Okay.
Again, it's a hollow puck.
Okay.
Puck that was molded in two halves and sealed together.
Soft?
A little bit, but it never went over because it was, the corners
Okay.
were still hard,
Okay.
even though it was soft material. So, no, the ball was by far the most acceptable.
Yes. No, I like the ball because the ball is very responsive, you know.
Yeah,
And have you ever heard about sorrow?
Zorro.
Sorrow.
Zorro?
Yes,
Oh,
sorrow. That is the Mexican,
Oh, yeah.
what do you call it, fencer?
Fencing, yeah.
Yes, fencing. The kids over in Europe, this is actually pre-designed for this. There's a little scoop here. So they take this, there's a lot of ways to do it. You can put it down a toaster, put on the toaster, you take it up. You take a fun ball, press it in, cool it down in water, you have a scoop. And then they put the ball and they stand like this in the air. I cannot do it. Can you do it?
No.
Can you do it?
No.
It takes 3 weeks probably to learn this. And they post videos on YouTube to music, standing, swinging the ball in the air like this. They toss it up in the air and they have something called an airdrop. They catch it with a stick down there again and hold like it's glued to it. But it's not glued. It's just skill. It's mind-blowing when you see it.
Yeah.
I
That's in Spain? where they-
No, Sweden,
Oh, Sweden.
Finland,
Oh.
I think more or less all over. Because that's what I do. That's modern culture, to stand and wave a plastic stick in the air with a fun ball glued to it. Do we have a browser here?
The world is
Right at the other end, I think they do, yeah.
Okay. We can show you that.
the world is passing me by.
Oh, you started also. I love that when you have that in the logo. That is completely,
That was a good logo.
yes.
And it was funny, that kid, we had a guy in, well, he did a lot of our advertising layouts for us, and one day I can't remember if he brought over a package or a catalog sheet, and on his own, he had put the Carlson up there in that design. And we had asked him to also work on a logo, and he had a bunch of that, but that thing just, as an afterthought, and that was a good logo.
He ended up using.
Yeah. Yeah, we used that on everything.
Would Tom Harder have any kids or grandkids? Do you have any idea about that?
I don't think so. He divorced when I was going over there, and I don't remember that he had any children.
Okay.
He remarried, but then he didn't have any.
Was he in the military? No.
I don't think so.
No. I think I used the wrong name. I think I've been looking for Harper and I found someone in the military. But ITT, is that the same company that starts computers later on?
International
And
Telephone and Telegraph.
Phone, yes.
Well, see, they owned
Yes.
Thermotech, which was owned us. So we were part of ITT for 5 years.
I worked for Volvo for a long time, 13 years. And just before I worked for Volvo, they had, at that time it was popular to spread, not within the area of field you were working. You picked up other
Oh, yeah.
good businesses. So they-
Conglomerate.
yes. So they owned Jofa. And Jofa is a lot of hockey equipment,
Yeah,
particularly helmets
yeah.
and protective gear. So,
Well, the only place we really fit into ITT was we had those marine accessories, boarding ladders, and they had another division out in California that had another batch of marine stuff, so we kind of fit in that way, but it really never did us any good.
on the floor, as floorboards spread from Sweden to Finland, there was a lot of discussions about floor damage. They thought that when you come into gym with sticks, plastic sticks, you would beat up and destroy the floor. So there's actually one guy at the University of Tampere in Finland that made a study, and I think his study concludes, this is only made in Finnish, I haven't read it, but I had it referred to by other
Yeah.
people, and they say that actually a basketball bouncing beats up the floor as bad as
Really?
floorball would do. Yes.
Because that's one resistance we ran into too. Was
Yes, and I've
Yeah.
had that resistance myself. I've been trying to start it up at Fort McCoy, the military site,
Yeah.
outside of Toma, and what they say, no, you will destroy my floor. And I say, that's not true. But you know, I can't argue with
Yeah.
someone that makes a decision.
Yeah, a
So,
lot of the janitors around the country
yes,
wouldn't allow it.
yes. And they had a hard time early on in Finland doing this.
But I think it's, over the years, it's still going.
Yes, yes, yes. No,
Obviously didn't.
no, I think it's just resistance. It has nothing to do with reality. It's just you don't want to bring in the new stuff.
Resistance to change.
Yes. That's a very interesting subject.
Where do you play your floor hockey again?
We usually play up at the Northeast Middle School in Northeast Minneapolis,
Oh, okay.
just up Johnson off of the freeway.
Oh, okay.
We've had different gyms we've played at. They never really last very long because it's hard to find a place that will give us 2
Yeah.
hours, and then to make them agree that we can only pay like $4 or $5 per person.
Yeah.
So we've gone through a few different places, and we had one spot in South Minneapolis that had a nice rubber floor,
Oh,
and that was pretty nice.
yeah.
But we lost that gym. We have had there's a church in Dinkytown that actually is where our group started, and we still have that every other Tuesday.
Oh,
So it's wherever we can get in,
Yeah.
and it really depends on the time of year and
oh,
if the city is allowing us to use the
Yeah.
gyms or not.
yeah.
Oh, my wife is into swimming. Is this still around?
No,
No.
No.
What was that? Diving discs
yeah,
with numbers on?
yeah. You dive and try to get the highest score.
Okay.
Another failure.
But
Although
but if you don't try, you know.
Yeah.
So,
There are companies today, though, that have games like that in their line
okay.
that do a lot of pool games.
What is the idea with the diamond ball? What
Oh,
a
we-
diamond ball we good for?
Well, we wanted to make a lower price line,
Okay.
so we made this with a much thinner wall, and it was just, we were able to go cheaper on it. So we had that's when the discount stores were coming into their own, and
Okay.
we didn't want to sell our high quality line, or what we considered high quality line, because they cut us off.
Go mist balls.
Oh, that
Tank
was
fins.
ball without holes in it. And we made I can't remember what the material was, but we sold those to electroplaters, where they're
Okay.
gonna chrome plate or whatever,
Okay.
and they'd float them on their tanks.
Uh-huh.
And the bubbles that came up from the tank would hit the bottom of the ball and break into the solution rather than popping up in the air,
Okay.
and they were losing material when
Wow.
it popped in the air. So there still was loss, but
Yeah.
it cut down on the loss.
Oh, interesting.
So, market perspective, was the fun ball a larger product than the different sticks?
Oh, yeah.
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 Okay.
But I would bet today the sticks are bigger.
I would bet on that too.
Yeah.
I think the most expensive floorball sticks today, they cost a couple of $100, I would say. They have a lot of new designs. They have special, either you have an indent here to increase the flex. You have sticks that are bent or S-curved in the shaft, yes, to increase the flex in this direction.
Oh,
One of the Unihawk, they also have a bamboo stick, so where the shaft is made like bamboo to
Yeah.
make it stronger and lightweight. There's a crazy hunt now for the lightest stick. They're down. There's a Finnish company that has the lightest stick right now at 171 grams, because lightweight means speed. You can
Yeah,
move it faster.
yeah.
And the latest is another new company, people that jumped off the Finnish company Excel, I think. They started a company called Oxdog, and they're now releasing full carbon fiber sticks, where it's one piece. So this is carbon fiber all the way.
Oh,
That means you can make this thinner. So in principle,
Oh,
you
yeah.
should be able to dribble faster.
yeah.
But then there is another, most of the most advanced players today, they demand a very soft plastic on the blade because they want to have sensitivity. So there is like different lines of development right now, and it's, I think the technology is very,
But the
very.
all fiber, or, what material, wouldn't that be too heavy?
No, carbon fiber, I
Carbon
think it would
fiber?
be extremely lightweight. Extremely lightweight.
Okay.
So it's plastic, it's glass fiber, carbon fiber,